Picture this: monks walking barefoot, sweeping the ground before every step. Not for ritual, but to avoid killing insects. Covering their mouths, not for silence, but to avoid harming even the tiniest microbes. Welcome to the world of Jainism, an ancient spiritual path so radical in its commitment to nonviolence, it still feels futuristic today. At the heart of Jainism are the Tirthankaras, spiritual trailblazers who built a bridge across the endless river of rebirth so others could cross into liberation. There have been 24 of them in this time cycle, with the last being Mahavira, a contemporary of the Buddha. But Mahavira wasn't the founder. Jainism doesn't really do founders. It sees truth as timeless, always present, just occasionally remembered. But this isn't a belief system that hands you truth on a silver platter. Jainism makes you earn it through something known as the three jewels: right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. And no, that's not a wellness retreat slogan. It's the path to moksha, liberation from the exhausting reboot loop of birth and death. And it all begins with one simple, terrifyingly powerful idea: Ahimsa. Ahimsa isn't just about being vegetarian. It's about radical non-harm. Every being has a soul, and harming any of them is harming yourself. That's why Jains don't eat potatoes. Not because they hate fries, but because harvesting roots kills the whole plant. That's how seriously they take their vow. The Jain symbol even contains a palm with the word Ahimsa, a literal sign saying, "Stop, life is sacred." In Jain philosophy, truth is not a singular, fixed point. It is layered, complex, and shaped by perspective. This principle is known as Anekantavada, the doctrine of non-one-sidedness. Anekantavada teaches that truth isn't absolute from any one perspective. Each view reveals only part of the picture. Real understanding begins when we accept the limits of our perception and stay open to others. It's a call for intellectual humility, not to abandon beliefs, but to hold them with awareness and grace. In a world shaped by polarization, this Jain principle remains quietly revolutionary. Truth, like life, is never one-dimensional. In Jainism, karma is physical. It's not just a concept, it's matter. A real, subtle matter that binds to your soul every time you act with desire, anger, pride, or ignorance. Over time, this karmic residue weighs you down, trapping you in the cycle of birth and death. Liberation means cleansing the soul through discipline, self-awareness, and ultimately, letting go. For those fully committed to that path, renouncing worldly life as a monk or nun is the most direct route to freedom. In Jainism, detachment isn't just a philosophy, it's a lifestyle. Jain monks and nuns commit fully. Some even renounce clothing, not for shock value, but as a powerful symbol of giving up all possessions and attachments. They don't cook, bathe, or travel by car, not because of discomfort, but because each of those actions risks harming tiny life forms. Notably, Jainism has long recognized women on the spiritual path. Today, Jain nuns outnumber monks, a quiet revolution that began centuries ago. But the monastic path isn't for everyone. Most Jains live in the world as business people, teachers, doctors, and students. But the values are the same, practiced in a gentler form. Non-violence, honesty, celibacy, non-attachment. They're famously strict vegetarians, deeply charitable, and often successful in business, not just by chance, but because they see wealth as something to be managed with responsibility, not clung to with desire. Picture the universe shaped like a human with a narrow waist. That's the Jain cosmos. At the base lies hell, the top is heaven, and earth floats in the middle. Above it all is Siddha Loka, the realm of liberated souls who've broken free from karma and will never be reborn. No divine judgment, no rewards or punishments, just an eternal system of cause and effect. Let's talk about the swastika. Yes, it's a Jain symbol. Long before the Nazis hijacked it, the swastika represented the four types of birth: God, human, animal, or hell being. It's about cycles, not supremacy, and it's still sacred to Jains. Jainism doesn't offer quick fixes. It doesn't promise divine rescue. It tells you, this world is not yours to exploit. It's yours to respect. That truth isn't singular. That violence, in any form, chains your soul. In a world on fire, environmentally, politically, spiritually, Jainism whispers a radical idea. do less harm, and keep going until you do none at all.